This conference will now be recorded.
Find the Fourier transform of g of t given by, please note down this, g of t is equal to 1, 0 less than t less than 1, it is 2, 1 less than t less than 2, and it is 3, 2 less than 3 less than 3, and it is 2 again, 3 less than 4 less than 3 less than 4, and it is again 1, which is 4 less than t less than 5. That means observe it, how it looks like. It looks like a staircase of thing. If you plot the graph for this, between 0 to 1, the amplitude is 1, and from 1 to 2, the amplitude is 2. So with refers to this origin, the amplitude is 2. Please try to understand. Whereas with refers to this, it is the amplitude is only 1. So 1 to 2, the amplitude is 2 again. From 2 to 3, the amplitude is 3. Again, from 3 to 4, the amplitude is falling to 2 again. So that's how it looks like. That means it looks like a ramp type of thing. That means a staircase type of thing. So this, for this waveform, he has asked us to find the Fourier transform. Now I'm going to solve this problem. Now, after this, I'm going to use this for solving the problem. Be patient for a while. Now I'm bringing the. It will take 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah. Now we got that image. Now observe this image. Now I need to write this the equation for this, which we already discussed. I can write the equation for this is, I can say g of t, which is equal to 1, which is 0 less than t less than 1, and it is 2, 1 less than t less than 2, and it is 3, 2 less than t less than 3, and it is 4, no, sorry, it is again 2, that is 3 less than t less than 4, and it is 1, 4 less than t less than 5. Now, once if I know this equation, you check whether the given signal is convergent or not. That means it has to satisfy the condition. It has to satisfy this condition. So integral minus infinity to plus infinity, modulus of, since my g of t, I can write modulus of g of t dt should be less than infinity. If it is satisfying this condition, then I can say that the given problem is convergent and Fourier series will exist. Now, since if you apply this, I can have 0 to 1, the amplitude is 1. So when you do this, you will get a 1. So all these values, if you do, you will get a value which is less than infinity. So the problem is convergent. Hence, you can directly apply the Fourier transform to this. So when you apply the Fourier transform to this, so you should be very careful while writing this. Since the function is existing from 0 to 5, and this function is not defined with a single equation, and it is defined like, in a piecewise manner. So what you have to do is, you have to write the integration. We know the formula for Fourier transform of g of t, which you can write the Fourier transform of g of t, which is equal to g of omega, which you can write integral minus infinity to plus infinity g of t into e power minus j omega t dt. Now, your g of t is existing from 0 to 5. So I can write the integration g of omega, the Fourier transform g of t, which is integral 0 to 1, which is 1. Observe it. Observe this waveform, you will understand. 0 to 1, the amplitude is 1. So I can write 0 to 1 e power minus j omega t dt plus 1 to 2. When you see this 1 to 2, when it is 1 to 2, the amplitude is 2. So I can write 1 to 2, I can write it as 2 e power minus j omega t dt. And from 2 to 3, it is 3 e power minus omega t. And from 3 to 4, omega 4, again, it is 2 minus j omega t dt. And from 4 to 5, it is again 1 into e power minus j omega t dt. Now you should be very careful while simplifying this. So it's a, I think this part you can do it. Now I'll show it. So you can write e power minus j omega t for this part. I can write it like this over the limits 0 to 1. Like that, you write all the limits, you simplify it, then you will get the Fourier transform of this staircase. So I hope you can solve this integration very easily and you can solve it. But try to understand. You may have a doubt. So since you are saying that 1, 2, 3, 2, all that, they are DCs, why you are not applying, they are since even though they are DC, why you are not applied 2 pi into del omega? Please try to understand here. When I say DC, it will exist from minus infinity to plus infinity. It will exist from minus infinity to plus infinity, the sum amplitude. Then I can say, I can write this Fourier transform of this DC. You can write it as 2 pi a into del of omega. Whereas if you observe here, the amplitude is not constant throughout from minus infinity to plus infinity. It is varying from certain duration. So that you should not write 2 pi into del omega. Please try to understand. And it is not, even if you observe this, this is non-convergent. But whereas this is not non-convergent, it is convergent. So please try to understand, and it is absolutely this, the given problem is absolutely, so I can say this is absolutely integrable. Absolutely integrable. You can say that a Fourier transform will exist. When the Fourier transform will exist, automatically you can solve it directly and you can simplify it. So hence, I can say this, the Fourier transform of this is you can calculate simplify, you can simplify it all these 5 integrations, and you need to substitute in the place of t as 0, 1, 2, 3, so on like that. And you, if there are similar terms, you bring it on one side and you simplify it. Then that is how you are going to get the Fourier transform of the given staircase. Please try to understand this. Now I am going to take to the next problem. I'm going to take you to the next problem. Please see this slide. Now observe this. Please note on this problem. Here the Fourier transform a rectangular pulse of duration t and amplitude a is shown in figure. Find the Fourier transform of this rectangular pulse. Find the Fourier transform of this rectangular pulse. You draw this waveform. So the waveform is existing from minus t/2 to t/2 with an amplitude of capital A. Now, there is another way of asking the question for the same problem is find the Fourier transform of gate function. This is another, this we call it as gate function. So which is defined as A and it is existing from minus t/2 to t/2. So there are two ways you can ask the question. Please see this. One way is a rectangular pulse of duration t and amplitude A is shown in figure. Find the Fourier transform of this. Or the other way is find the Fourier transform of a rectangular pulse. Now, please, have you noted down this question? Please post it in the chat box. Have you noted down this question? Please post it in the chat box. ఈ క్వశ్చన్ నోట్ చేసుకున్నారా లేదో ఒకసారి చాట్ బాక్స్ లో పోస్ట్ చేయండి అమ్మా. No, yeah, please note down. Please note down, all of you. Then I'm going to solve this problem. Once after noting down, please post it in the chat box so that I'm going to start this solving this problem. ఒకసారి నోట్ చేసుకున్నది ఒకసారి చాట్ బాక్స్ లో పోస్ట్ చేయండి అమ్మా. నోట్ చేసుకున్నారమ్మా? Please post it in the chat box. ఒకసారి ప్రాబ్లం నోట్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత ఒకసారి చాట్ బాక్స్ లో పోస్ట్ చేయండి. Can I solve this problem? Have you noted down this problem? Please post it in the chat box. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to solve this problem. Now again, I'm going to use the Jamboard. Now observe this. Here I have a rectangular pulse of duration t with an amplitude of A. So first time, let me draw the waveform. Here I have a rectangular pulse like this, which is existing from this. I can say it as g of t, and the amplitude of this is A, and this is existing from minus t/2 to t/2. Now, first you need to write the mathematical equation of this rectangular pulse. So the mathematical equation of this rectangular pulse, you can write it as g of t equal to A rect t by capital T. Please try to understand, and it is existing from minus t/2 less than t/2, and it is 0 elsewhere. Please try to understand how I have written this equation. So observe this. Rect t/t is nothing but the rectangular function, and t is in time domain. The function is in time domain. That's why I use small t. And here I have capital T. This capital T is nothing but the time period of this pulse. The rectangular pulse is existing from minus t by 2 to t by 2. So the time duration or the time, the pulse width or the duration of this rectangular pulse is t. And here A represents the amplitude of this rectangular pulse. So for this rectangular pulse of amplitude A, which is existing from minus t by 2 to t by 2, now you need to calculate what should be the Fourier transform for this. Now we know the basic formula for the Fourier transform of any given function or any function, which you can write Fourier transform of g of t. I can say it as g of omega, which you can write integral minus infinity to plus infinity g of t e power minus j omega t dt. Now here this g of t is nothing but a rect t by t, and this is existing from minus t by 2 to t by 2. Hence I can write this as g of omega, I can write it as integral minus t by 2 to t by 2 a rect of t by t into e power minus j omega t dt. Now, and since this rect t by t is nothing but a rectangular pulse, so you can treat this as one only. So I can write this as integral minus t to t by 2 a e power minus j omega t dt. So please try to understand. Now this, when you're doing integration with respect to t, you treat this as constant, you take this outside, then that I can write as a integral minus t by 2 to t by 2 e power minus j omega t dt. Now it's like an exponential one. You simplify this, you can write this as e power minus j omega t by minus j omega over the limits minus t by 2 to t by 2, and this is multiplied with capital A, since we have this A. Now, if you see this, now you apply the limits. In the place of small t, you need to apply this upper and lower limits. Then when you apply it, I can write this as, I'm going to take minus j omega outside. Then I can write it as e power minus j omega. In the place of small t, I can write it as t by 2 minus e power. If you apply this small t minus t by 2 for this, then it becomes e power j omega t by 2. So if I take this minus inside, then it becomes a by j omega, and this I can write it as, if I take this minus inside, then you can write it as e power j omega t by 2 minus e power minus j omega t by 2. Now, if you observe this, it looks like e power j theta. This looks like e power j theta, and this looks like e power minus j theta. Then how you can write e power j theta minus e power minus j theta? That you can write it as, this you can write it as a by j omega. This you can write it as 2j sine omega t by 2. Please try to understand this. Sine omega t by 2. That means e power j theta and e power minus j theta I can write as called 2j sine theta. So theta is nothing but omega t by 2. Now this j and this j gets cancelled. Here I can simplify it further. Please try to understand. Here I can simplify it further. When you simplify it further, I'll get the term like this. I can say, I can write, if you see this previous slide, you'll get a by j omega into 2j, all that. Now I'm going to write that. Now here, my x of omega, I can write it as a by j omega into 2j sine omega t by 2. Now what you have to do is, now please try to understand this part. You can write it, you can rearrange it. Now how you can rearrange this is, you cancel this j and j, then you take this one. Can I write it like this? Please, yeah, please observe it. Can I write it like this? So when you take a by b by c, you can write it as ac by b. So this you can write it like this, and when you take this 2 in the denominator, then it becomes the same equation you are going to get. Now here I have sine omega t by 2. Here also I have omega by 2. What I have to do is, I'll multiply and divide the numerator and denominator with t. Now observe it. If you do it like this, it won't affect, right? So please try to understand. Just I am rearranging this term by multiplying the numerator and denominator with t. So you may ask why I am doing it like this. Since I have a function sine omega t by 2, so I am going to make this denominator also in the similar manner. So to do that, I am going to rearrange this. Then if you rearrange this, then I can write this as, now I can take this term like this, at sine of omega t by 2 divided by omega t by 2. Now observe it. If you see this sine, it looks like sine x by x. This sine x by x, which you know from, which you already studied in the previous topic. Now observe this. We know from the previous chapter we studied, we have a function known as sinc function, and that sinc function, which you can write it as sin x by x, which you can call it as sinc x, right? Now I have a function which I can write it as sin x by x, which you can call it as sec x. So this I can write it as sine omega t by 2 divided by sine omega t by 2. That I can write it as sinc omega t. Or you can say it like this. Sinc function, you can call it as sine pi x by pi x, which you can call it as sinc x. Now, if you observe this, here how you will get pi x, omega you can write it as 2 pi f. So I can say sine omega, I can write it as 2 pi f t by 2. And here also I can write omega as 2 pi f t by 2. Now this 2 gets cancelled. Here also 2 gets cancelled. Then the equation now becomes at sine pi f t by pi f t. Now it looks like sine pi x by pi x, which you can call it as sinc x. So that here then I can write this as, the solution for this is at sinc f t. That means you try to understand the Fourier transform of a rect t by capital T is nothing but at sinc ft. Is it clear up to now? Please post it in the chat box, dear students. How I have solved this, is it clear? Please post it in the chat box. ఇప్పుడు దాకా ఈ చెప్పిన ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అర్థమైందని లేదమ్మా? Or shall I repeat it once again? Please post it in the chat box. మరి చెప్పిన ప్రాబ్లం అర్థమైందా లేకపోతే మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి రిపీట్ చేయమంటారా? Please post it in the chat box. Please respond, dear students. చెప్పిన ప్రాబ్లం అర్థమైందా లేకపోతే మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి రిపీట్ చేయమండి? You want me to repeat or is it okay? Okay, right. Okay, now please try to understand. So when you take the Fourier transform of a rectangular function, rectangular pulse, you will get a sinc function. That means, you know, when you plot the sinc function, it looks like this. I'm going to show you the sinc function also. When you take a t equal to 0, here it becomes maximum, and you will have a series of half sinusoids like this, damped oscillations on either sides. So this is what the sinc function is, and your rectangular function is like this. So if you apply Fourier transform to this, you will get a function like this. This is what the sinc function is. So please try to understand. So how we are going to calculate this rectangular pulse and what is its Fourier transform, right? Now I'm going to take the next problem. Now observe it. Already we completed this Fourier transform. Now please note down this problem. Find the Fourier transform of g of t shown below. Now please note down this problem, all of you. Once after noting down, please post it in the chat box. Please note down this problem. Once after noting down, please post it in the chat box. Now wait for a while. Just I'm taking that image of this triangular waveform. Just okay. Now observe it, dear students. Now here we have a triangular waveform. For this waveform shown below, shown in the figure, for this waveform we need to find the Fourier transform. But we don't know how to write the equation for this. I'll tell you a simple technique. Here first you need to write the coordinates first. I am going to represent this coordinates as with variables like I'm going to represent with new color. Here I am going to represent the points as small a, small b, and small c. Now for this AB, you have a line, and BC you have another line. Now you need to write the equation of a line small AB, and similarly equation of a line BC. But these two lines, they are not passing through the origin. So please try to understand. First you need to write the coordinates for A, small a. The coordinates for small a is -5, 0. Since we have coordinate at A, which is -5, but the coordinate for Y is 0. Whereas the coordinate at B is, we have the coordinate at B, which is capital A, which is Y coordinate, but the X coordinate is 0 at this place. So I can say at point B, the coordinates are 0, capital A. Similarly, I need to write the coordinates at point C, which is on X, we have on X-axis, but at Y-axis we have 0. So I can say the coordinates for this is 5, 0. Now what you have to do is you represent the points as x1, y1, x2, y2, and this I'm going to represent x3, y3. Or you can also write x1, y1 for the time being. That means when I write the equation AB, you need to consider these 2 points. When you consider the equation for BC, you need to consider these 2 points, right? Now, first, let me write the equation. You know, you have studied this in straight lines in your mathematics. When I have 2 points, you can write the equation of a line between 2 points, which you can write it as y minus y1 equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. Here y and x, they are the axes. That means here I have x-axis, which is x, and here I have y-axis, which is y. But for the given problem, my y-axis is nothing, my y is nothing but g of t, and my x is t. So I can write x, I can write it as t, and I can write y as g of t. And y1, y2, x1, x2, these are the coordinates which you can write. Now, first I am going to write the equation of a line AB. I'm going to write the equation of a line for AB. Equation of a line for AB. Now, when you write the equation of a line for AB, I need to write y minus y1. My y is g of t. I can write g of t. Y1, here y1 is 0. So I can write g of t minus 0, which is equal to y2 minus y1. My y2 is a and y1 is 0. So I can say a minus 0 by x2 minus x1. x2 is 0 and x1 is minus 5. So I can write 0 minus of minus 5 into x minus x1. Now my x is, I have x-axis which is time scale. So I can write x as t, x1, I can write x1, the coordinate of x1 is minus 5. So I can write minus of minus 5. Now this is what my equation of this AB. Now if you simplify this, I can say g of t is equal to a by 5, since minus of minus 5 becomes plus 5, into t plus 5. So here also again I have minus of minus, so I can write this plus, and this equation will exist only from, now observe it, this the line is existing, the equation AB is existing from minus 5 to 0. So I can write the limits here. This is existing from minus 5 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 0. This is what the equation for AB. Now similarly, now you need to write the equation for BC. Now when you write the equation for BC, Now when you write the equation for BC, now you treat this as x2 y2. I am not changing the coordinates for x2 y2, but the coordinates for C, now I am forget about this part. Now I'm going to consider the coordinates for C as again x1 y1. So I'm going to write this as y2 minus y1, sorry, y minus y1. Again, I can write it as y is g of t. Since my y is g of t, I can say g of t. My y1 is, again here y1 is 0. So g of t minus 0, which is equal to y2 minus y1. Now your y2 is a and y1 is 0. So I can say y2 minus y1, you can write it like this, a minus 0 by x2 minus x1. But your x2 is 0, whereas x1 is minus, x1 is 5. So I can say 0 minus 5 into x minus x1. Now your x is again t. I can write x as t. x1, again I have x1, which is 5. Now you simplify this. Now when you simplify this, you will get g of t, which is equal to, since a minus 0, you will get a, and 0 minus 5. I can write as minus. So I can write it as minus a by 5 into t minus 5. And this equation will exist only for BC. That is, when you observe BC, this line is existing from 0 to 5. So I can write this, the coordinates for this is 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 5. Now observe it, your total waveform is existing from minus 5 to 5, but from minus 5 to 0, we have one equation, and from 0 to 5, we have another equation. So I'll write the total equation now. My g of t now I can write it as a by 5 into t plus 5. Observe it. And this a by 5 into t plus 5, which is existing from minus 5 to 0. So I can write it as minus 5 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 0. And it is the same g of t. I'll get minus a by 5 into t minus 5, and this is existing from 0 less than t less than 5. Now you know this g of t and you know the limits for this. Once after knowing the limits of g of t and the limits, can you find the Fourier transform for this or not? Please post it in the chat box. Once if you know this equation, can you find the Fourier transform or not? Please post it in the chat box. Once if I have this equation, now you need to consider the g of t, which is the combination of two lines. One is existing from minus 5 to 0 with an equation a by 5 into t plus 5, and another is existing from 0 to 5 with an equation minus of a by 5 into t minus 5. Can you, once if you know this equation, can you find the Fourier transform by applying the limits or not? Please post it in the chat box. Yes, right. Now, once if you have this equation, just I'm going to give one or two steps. Now, just I'm going to take this next slide. Now, you know the basic formula for Fourier transform of g of t. Now you can write directly the Fourier transform of g of t, which is nothing but g of omega, which you can write integral minus infinity to plus infinity g of t e power minus j omega t dt. Now, your g of t is now existing between -5 to 0, you have one equation, and 0 to 5, you have another equation. So what you have to do? You have to write integral -5 to 0. You have to write the equation for g of t. -5 to 0, what is the equation we have? A by 5 into t plus 5. Now you write that a by 5 into t plus 5 into e power minus j omega t dt. Then integral 0 to 5, that is the second part, which you can write it as minus a by 5 into t minus 5. Just observe this equation. From 0 to 5, we have minus a by 5 into t minus 5. So you please write this minus a by 5 into t minus 5. And you need to multiply with the exponential term that is there, which is e power minus j omega t dt. Now, observe it. As you are doing integration with respect to t, we have a by 5. Here also I have a by 5. You take a by 5 common. I can write a by 5 integral minus 5 to 0 t plus 5 into e power minus j omega t dt. Here minus you can write 0 to 5 t minus 5 into e power minus j omega t dt. Now it looks like a plus b into c and a minus b into c. So you simplify it, but you should be very careful here. When you simplify this, I'm going to write one more step, and I'm going to leave the rest of the part to you. Here I can split this minus 5 to 0. You can write t e power minus j omega t dt plus integral minus 5 to 0. It looks like a plus b into c. I can write ac plus bc. So 5 into e power minus j omega t dt minus integral 0 to 5. This you can write it as t e power minus j omega t dt. Then minus into minus becomes plus. So I can write integral 0 to 5 e power minus j omega t dt. Now observe this. For all these terms, it is multiplied. This a by 5 is multiplied for all the terms. But observe this. This second and fourth terms, you don't find that much difficulty. That means since you are doing integration with respect to t, and this 5 is a constant, you can take outside and you can do this. You can simplify it very easily. But now observe these terms. Now observe these terms. The first term and the third term. Now observe these two terms. Since it is multiplied, the integration is multiplied with t into e power minus jt, and you are doing integration also with respect to t. So you should not treat this as constant. Then you need to apply the formula integral uv rule. You need to apply, and you need to solve this. So I think you know how you need to do this integral uv formula, and you should be very careful while applying this while solving this first and third integrals. So please cautious for this. And this is a simple integration which you can do it. So please try to understand. So the four terms which you are going to solve, you can solve it and you simplify it, then you will get the Fourier transform of this triangular pulse. So the moment when you solve this and when you simplify it, you will get, I'll give the hint to you. So if you solve it, I will get sinc square function. Please try to understand. Sinc square function you are going to get. Why it is sinc square, you please try to understand. So it looks like t e power minus at. How you can write t e power minus at? So u integral v, or the integral v into derivative of u. So now you need to consider which one you have to consider u and which one you have to consider v. Please post it in the chat box. This is an assignment to you. I left this part of integration to all of you, since you studied the integration in your first year and intermediate also you studied. I have given this part of the simplification of this problem as an assignment to you, and I'll ask the answer to all of you, to any one of you, in a random manner in the next class. Get ready. I have not given the answer to you now. You please solve this part of integration. I'll call you by in a random manner. Please try to understand. And I'm going to give you some time also. And in the next class is we have next Tuesday, we have the next class. So I have given 2 to 3 days time, and you please try to solve this integration part. I'll ask the number in a random manner. Let us say I can say 25, 425, you please tell me the answer for this, or 446, you tell me the answer for this. Like that I'll ask. So please note down. Or shall I wait for another 5 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes, or will you? Shall I proceed with the next problem? Please post it in the chat box. It's an assignment for you. Yes, Nikita, you are right. According to that rule only, you can choose the U and V. But you please try to understand. So if since it is an exponential one, so you should be very careful to do to this. Suppose for other one we don't have any problem, but since it is exponential, when you do integration with respect to exponential, you will get e power minus j omega by j omega again. Or suppose if you do it differentiation, again you will get j omega into e power minus j omega. So that is the problem with this exponential. So please try to understand and solve it. So that's the reason I have given sufficient time to you. Please try to solve this. And this is an assignment to all of you. And I'll ask any one of you in a random manner. You have to tell the answer. Right? Shall I proceed to the next problem? Please post it in the chat box. Please post it in the chat box, or shall I give some time? Are you noting down? Please tell me. This is an assignment to all of you. Shall I give some time to note down this, or shall I proceed to the next one, next problem? Please post it in the chat box. And there is one thing that I am observing. The moment when the class is going on, 55, 56 students are joining, and slowly 3 or 4 people are disconnected. I don't know the reason. If you are not interested, don't join to the class. Now, as I already told you, since you are nowadays you are having online classes, you should be very careful, and you should take all the precautions. Why you are connecting and disconnecting like this? I don't think this is not the right way. And even I observe Mahalakshmi Madam of Ananya is also telling the same thing. Please don't do it like that. Even today, I have seen that at that time 55, 56 students are there. Now 2 or 3 students left the class. But at the end of the class, again they are joining. Please see us.
Somebody has net problem, sir.
Why you will get this problem? Since you know, ఇప్పుడు మీ క్లాసెస్ రెగ్యులర్ గా రాదు కదమ్మా ప్రాబ్లం అలా చూడండి ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ నౌ 52. సో ఒకసారి చెక్ చేసుకోమని చెప్పండి అమ్మా, నెట్ ప్రాబ్లం అని చెప్పకండి. అంటే అది మంచి పద్ధతి కూడా కాదు. ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ అరేంజ్మెంట్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఓకేనమ్మా? Sir, you please convey this to all your friends. Shall I proceed to the next problem? Or
yes, sir.
Shall I give? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Now see this, the next problem. So now observe it. In today's class, we solved one problem, which is a staircase problem. Then the other one is a rectangular pulse, and the third one is the triangular waveform. So these are the 3 problems which we solved so far. Now after that, we have the next problem which we already solved. This is what the decaying exponential signal. when you solve this decaying exponential signal, the Fourier transform for this decaying exponential signal, the Fourier transform which you are going to get is I can say I'm going to get the Fourier transform for this, which is just let us see. I will check it. I think I can write now. Yeah. Now, if you observe the Fourier transform, which we have already solved in the last class. Now, tell me what is the Fourier transform of e power minus at into u of t, which we have solved in the last class? Please see the notebook and tell me. One of you unmute yourself and tell me. I think you will get 1 by a plus j omega. Am I right? Please post it in the chat box or please unmute yourself and tell me. ఇది లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ లో సాల్వ్ చేసామమ్మా, అబ్జర్వ్ చేయండి. This is what the decaying exponential signal e power minus at u of t. When you see the Fourier transform of e power minus at into u of t, you are going to get 1 by a plus j omega. Is it right or not? Please, one of you please unmute yourself and tell me. నిన్న క్లాస్ లో సాల్వ్ చేసామమ్మా ఈ ఎగ్జాంపుల్.
Correct, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So if you observe the waveform, this is the waveform for the decaying exponential signal. So that means why you can call it as decaying. Please try to understand. As you go on increasing this value of t, suppose if t equal to 0, you will get 1. When you take t equal to 1, 2, 3, so on like that, as you go on increasing the value of t, the graph falls to 0. If you take t equal to infinity, then e power minus infinity, which you already know. When you say e power minus infinity, which is nothing but 1 by e power infinity, which is nothing but 1 by infinity, e power infinity is infinity, which you already know. 1 by infinity is nothing but 0. So e power minus infinity is nothing but 0. So it starts at 1, it goes on decreasing. As t tends to infinity, it falls to 0, but it is not touching 0. When it will touch 0, if t equal to infinity, then the graph closes like that and it touches to 0. That is how it should be. Now in this case here, the value of t is infinity. That is how you will have this decaying exponential. So the Fourier transform of this decaying exponential is 1 by a plus j omega. Here a is the scaling factor. A we call it as the scaling factor. Now I'm going to take you the next slide. Now observe this. What is this waveform? Now this waveform we call it as the rising exponential. Now tell me what is the Fourier transform for this? Already we solved this also in the last class. The Fourier transform of e power 18 to u of minus t. Now tell me what is the answer that we got for this? One of you please unmute yourself and tell me. In the yesterday's problem, we solved the exponential signal. There we discussed rising. We have taken 3 cases: case 1, case 2, case 3. Now this comes under case 2. This comes under case 2. Now tell me what is the answer. Please unmute. Yeah, tell me. 1 by
A minus j omega.
Yes, you are right. 1 by a minus j omega. So this is what the Fourier transform of rising pulse. Now try to understand why it is rising. Suppose if you take t for positive values of t, if you take t equal to 0, you will get 1. If you take t equal to infinity, you will get e power infinity. E power infinity is infinite. That means it starts at 1 and it goes on like this. Suppose if you plot the same curve on the other side, on the for positive values of t, it goes like this. It reaches up to infinity. It goes to like this. So that's what we call it as the rising exponential. So now I'm going to take you to the next problem. Now observe this. Now what is this? This one. Now observe it. It is nothing but a double-sided exponential, which we discussed in case 3. Now tell me what is the Fourier transform. Now observe it here. For this part, what is the Fourier transform for this? What is the you please tell me what is the Fourier transform of e power minus t Here A is 1. Now tell me.
2a plus omega.
So that means when you see all that, you are telling that the Fourier transform of e power minus a mod t you are telling, right? Which is 2a by a square plus omega square. Now what is your a now here in this case? Now please see this problem and tell me what is your a in this problem. For the given problem, what is your a? ఇక్కడ ఏ స్కేలింగ్ ఫ్యాక్టర్ అంతా ఇక్కడ ఉంది ప్రాబ్లం లో. Please unmute yourself and tell me.
1, sir.
What is the value? 1. So I can write this part, I can call it as transform of e power t. So it is the combination of both. So I can write this as the Fourier transform of e power minus mod t. I don't have this a. Now the value of a is 1. So I can write 2 by 1 plus omega square is the answer for this. So that is how you can find the Fourier transform for this. Is it clear to all of you? Here the scaling factor a is 1. So that in the place of a, you need to write 1. Is it clear? Is it clear to all of you? Please unmute. One of you, please unmute and tell me. Yeah, right. Unmute chest మాట్లాడండి పర్లేదు. Yes, right. Now I am going to take you to the next problem. Now observe it. Now already we studied this the Fourier transform for this, right? Now if you see this the Fourier transform for the signum function which is solved. Now tell me what is the Fourier transform of the signum function? Please check the waveform and please see the answers and tell me. This we already solved in the last class. SGN of t. Fourier transform of SGN of t, which is, tell me the answer.
2 by j omega.
Yeah, 2 by
j
omega. Yes, you are right. You are right, Amma. Now, is it clear up to now? ఇంతవరకు అర్థమైంది అమ్మా? Unmute yourself. ఇంతవరకు సాల్వ్ చేసిన ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ అన్ని అర్థమైనాయి కదమ్మా లేదా?
Yes, sir.
Now what I'll do is జాగ్రత్తగా వినండి ఇక్కడ. Now what I am going to do is I am going to find the Fourier transform. I am going to find the Fourier transform of unit step function. Now please try to understand what is the Fourier transform of unit step function. So you know u of t, which you can write it as u of t equal to 1, 0 less than t less than or equal to infinity, and it is 0 elsewhere. That you already know, right? If I ask you to plot the graph for this, you can plot the graph. This is 0 and this is time scale, and you'll have an amplitude 1, and this you can say it as u of t, right? Now for this waveform, you need to find the Fourier transform. But the problem is, if you solve this the condition for the Fourier transform, the convergence condition, so you know when it is satisfying the condition for convergence, you need to write integral minus infinity to plus infinity modulus of x of t dt should be less than infinity. But here the function is existing from 0 to infinity with an amplitude of 1. So I can write integral 0 to infinity dt. Now what is the answer that I am going to get? Infinite. So that means the Fourier transform of unit step function is directly, if you observe it, it is non-convergent. That means you may ask, sir, can't I find the Fourier transform of u of t? No, it is not like that. You can find the Fourier transform of u of t from the signum function and from the DC signal. Now please try to understand how I am going to find from the signum function and the DC function. Now first let me draw the signum function for your understanding purpose. Here, my signum function is like this, right? I have an amplitude 1 and I have an amplitude -1. This is 1 and this is -1 and this is 0 and this is time. So this is what my signum function is. Now please try to understand. I'm going to plot one more graph. Here I'm going to plot one more graph, that is DC signal. When you plot the DC signal, you have the DC signal like this with an amplitude of 1. Let us assume with an amplitude of 1. Now what I'll do is, now I need to write the relation for the unit step function. I need to write the relation for the unit step function in terms of signum function and this one. Now please try to understand why I am going to write the relation for the unit step function in terms of signum function and this one. Now please try to understand. If you see this, now can I write the relation for signum function, unit step function and the DC signal? You know the Fourier transform for this. The Fourier transform for this is Fourier transform of SGN of t, which is nothing but 2 by j omega. This is you already know. And for this, the Fourier transform of 1, which is a DC signal, that also you know, which is 2 pi into del of omega. Here my A is 1. So please try to understand. My A is 1, so that I can say 2 pi into del of omega. So I know the Fourier transform of a DC signal. This is what the DC signal, and this is a unit step function, and this is signum function. So now what I'll do is, I'm going to write the relation for the signum function, unit step function, and the DC signal. Can I write it like that? Is it possible? Now please see this. I'm going to write the relation for signum function in terms of unit step function and this one. I can write the relation between these two. Please see this relation and you check it. I'll write this equation and you tell me whether the equation is right or not. Now I can write the relation signum function, which I can write here, signum function SGN of t, which is equal to 2 into u of t minus 1. Please check it whether this relation is right or not. Please see this equation and tell me. Now observe these waveforms. Already I have the waveforms here. I have waveforms here. Signum function equal to 2 times of u of t minus 1. Is it right or not? Please check the equation and tell me. Please see the waveforms. Already you have the waveform for signum function, which is this. DC waveform is this, and u of t waveform is this. Can I write the relation like this? Signum function equal to 2 times of u of t minus 1. Please see the waveforms and check it. Please post it in the chat box. Is this equation is right or not? Then ask me how. Then try to understand how you are going to get this. What is the relation? How we are going to obtain this relation? Or you can do it like this first. Now first add these two signals. What will happen? See, first you add these two signals. What will happen? Let us see. You have a DC signal and this one. Now observe it. What should be the resultant waveform you will get? Let us assume. Now I'm going to take you into the next slide. Just see. here I'll do one thing for your understanding purpose. Now I'm going to use Jamboard for your understanding purpose so that the things will be clear to all of you. Yeah, so that I can use different colors directly here. So now first observe this. My signum function is like this.
Sir, screen sharing help not present.
And my DC waveform is like this with the same amplitude. This is DC, and now if I add these two, what will happen? Now please see this. Now I'm going to add both the signals. This is my DC. Now I'm going to add the signum function also. Now my signum function, I'm adding to this. This is my signum function. Now tell me, if I add signum function and the DC function, what is the answer that you are going to get? So this and this gets cancelled, since right, this is -1 and this is +1. Then what is the thing that you are going to get on the other side? Hello? Chapama.
Sir, screen not presenting, sir.
Oh,
Screen not presenting.
Sorry. Yeah. Is it clear now? Now can you see the screen? Please post it in. Please tell me.
Okay.
Now observe it. Now this is. Now please see. This is my signum function, and this is my DC. Now what I'm doing is I'm adding two. Now two. I'm add, and my signum function is like this. Now tell me, if I add these two, that is signum, and what is the answer that I'm going to get? So this and this gets cancelled, right? Now this side, what you are going to have? How many unit step functions you will have? Tell me. Already you have one unit step function, and we have another unit step function, right? That means this side you will get 2 times of u of t. Am I right or not? Observe చేయండి అమ్మా. Am I right or not? ఇక్కడ చూడండి, యూనిట్ స్టెప్ ఫంక్షన్ ఎలా డిఫైన్ చేస్తాము? Just I'm going to draw one more graph for unit step function. This is my unit step function. 0 to infinity. Right? Now any unit step function కనిపిస్తున్నాయేమో ఇక్కడ. The moment when you add it, green లో ఒక యూనిట్ స్టెప్ ఫంక్షన్ ఉంది, yellow లో ఒకటి ఉంది. So how many unit step functions you have when you add it? This and this gets cancelled, and you will get 2 times of u of t. Is it clear to all of you? Yeah, see, let me write 2. So you'll get 2 unit step functions. So I can write the relation as 2 into u of t is equal to sgn of t plus 1. From this I can say u of t equal to 1 by 2 into sgn of t plus 1. Can I write it like this or not? Can I write it like this or not? Please unmute yourself. అర్థమైందా లేదా చూడండి. 2u of t equal to signum plus dc. dc is 1. So now if I apply Fourier transform to u of t, if I apply Fourier transform to u of t, you are going to get, I'm taking half outside, Fourier transform of sgn of t plus 1. So it looks like a plus b. Now here you need to apply the concept of linearity property, which I'm going to discuss in the next class. But time being, you write it like this. half into Fourier transform of Sgn of t plus half into Fourier transform of 1. Now tell me, what is the Fourier transform of Signum function? Please tell me. Already we discussed this. What is the Fourier transform? Unmute yourself and tell me. What is the Fourier transform of Signum function?
2 by j omega.
2 by j omega, right? Then what is the Fourier transform of DC signal with an amplitude A? Here the amplitude is 1. So can I write it like this, 2 pi into del of omega? Right, chaledamma?
Yes, sir.
Right, chaledamma? అర్థమైందా లేదా?
Yes.
అర్థమైందా లేదమ్మా? Now, if you simplify this 2 and this 2 gets cancelled, right? So I'll get 1 by j omega, and this 2 and this 2 gets cancelled. You will get pi into del of omega. This is what the Fourier transform of the unit step function. Please try to understand. The Fourier transform of unit step function is 1 by j omega in plus pi into del of omega. Is it clear? Is it clear? Please post it in the chat box. Right. But now see that the CR, please note down. I observed that there are only 49 students are there. So with this, I am stopping for today's